Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jay Pounds here. We got another weekly video for you. Before we get started, I just want to say I apologize if this is a little hard to hear, or if it just looks a little different than normal. I'm on break at work right now. I filled out, or I made the video earlier, and I forgot to set my mic up for some reason. My son changed it on me, and I forgot to double check it. So that's my mistake. So we're going to be bringing it to you a little bit differently today, but it'll still be the same concept and things like that. Before we get into it, as always, guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, comment down below, and if you're feeling real frisky, go ahead and share that video for me. We're going to go ahead and jump right into things. I got to kind of keep this one quick, seeing as how I'm on break at work. I got a time limit tonight. But the first game I'm going to talk about in our weekly recap, as always, is the Detroit Lions versus the Cleveland Browns. I went to this game live, and I will say Baker Mayfield looks bad. I get he was hurt and everything like that, but he was missing very, very easy throws. If you're hurt to the point where you can't make a wide open throw to a receiver in the NFL, you shouldn't be playing. You're hurting your team at that point. If they didn't have Nick Chubb, they lose this game. The thought around Cleveland is Baker isn't the guy. That was different 2 weeks ago. Maybe it'll change here in another couple of weeks. We'll see. But if Baker keeps struggling going the way he is, it's not going to look good. His wife came out on Instagram, questioned the toughness of Brown's teammates. There's a report out of a very trusted source in Cleveland, a reporter that said that Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield no longer see eye to eye, and things just are not going well. I don't know what it is about Cleveland, but it always seems to happen to them, and I feel sorry for my family, man. They're all Cleveland fans, and they've stuck it out for so long that they deserve a Super Bowl or at least a long, long, deep playoff run of some sort. I spent a little too much time on it. Let's get moving here. We got the Ravens and the Bears. The Ravens were very impressive this week, winning with a backup quarterback in the NFL on the road, to say the least. Once they get Lamar Jackson back, man, it should be their division. I don't see anybody catching them. Unless they go on some type of massive losing streak at some point, it's the Ravens division to run away with. They do have 2 games coming up against the Cleveland Browns back-to-back, so that will be very important. It will decide a lot in the division, and it will decide whether the other 3 teams can stay in it and keep up with the Ravens or not. In my opinion, the Browns need to at least split with them for the rest of this division to stay in the race. Kansas City and Dallas. It was a disappointing day for Dallas on defense. Or on offense, but not on defense. They held the Chiefs to 1 touchdown. It was pretty impressive. Patrick Mahomes got back to his struggling ways. I'm not too sure what's happened with him. He had that one explosion game, and now he comes out and puts up 8 points for your fantasy team. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll figure that out. We got New Orleans versus Philly. I'm not sure why Trevor Siemian is still starting. It needs to be Taysom Hill. He showed some promise last year when he started, but I don't think we're going to see it. It's going to kill the Saints' playoff chances, and I just don't think they make it because of that. Indianapolis versus Buffalo. Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns. He's the only player ever with 175 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, and a receiving TD. It is very impressive what this kid is able to do. The sky's the limit for him, and I think it's only up from here, and that's a scary thought considering what he's doing right now. Minnesota versus the Packers, man. The Vikings are a tough team to figure out this year. I can't figure out what the hell they are. It's just one week they'll have a great game, the next week they don't, or they lose a close game. They've played pretty competitive all year, but their defense just looks bad. They're giving up a lot of points, and it's causing their offense to play catch up most of the year. The toilet bowl for the week, we got the Jets versus the Dolphins. It was an ugly game. Joe Flacco, former Super Bowl MVP, getting the start. He didn't have a horrible day, but it wasn't enough to beat the Dolphins, and Dolphins are on a little win streak now. After that, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bengals got back on track. The Raiders seem to be spiraling, and honestly, I can't blame them for what's happened this year. I don't expect it to be pretty the rest of the way. I do see them bouncing back next season, but this year I believe is kind of lost, to be honest. After that, we got Arizona and Seattle, and somehow, some way, Arizona keeps on winning without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. They beat Russell Wilson-led Seahawks team, and honestly, the way the Seahawks season is going, it wouldn't surprise me to see one of Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson gone next year. After that, we got Pittsburgh versus the Chargers. I was very disappointed in the ending of this game. Obviously, as a Steelers fan, it was a fun game to watch, but you can't give up that big 51-yard bomb with 2 minutes to go. He was wide open. It was ugly, blown coverage, and that's never good to end the game. After that, we got the Giants and the Buccaneers. The Giants just fired Jason Garrett over this when they got blown out again. The offense looks horrible. Jason Garrett needs to be out of the league, guys. He's just not it anymore. He doesn't adapt. He doesn't make any type of in-game adjustments needed or anything like that. It's just ugly. That's all I got for the weekly recap. Let's go ahead and hit these free agents. Before we do, again, if you guys disagree with any of these, please comment down below. I'll always comment back. I appreciate the comments from last week. It was nice to see, and appreciate all the likes as well. Up first, guys, we got DeAndre Carter, 1 year, $970,000. He's 31.36% rostered. He has caught a touchdown in the past 3 weeks, or in each of the last 3 weeks. Taylor Heineke seems to really, really like throwing to him in the red zone, and that is definitely a positive. If we can get his volume up a little bit more, he will be a somewhat reliable fantasy asset. Right now, he's nothing more than a bench play, and that's in desperation at this point. The next guy we got here, this is kind of a look-ahead pickup that you're going to want maybe for the playoffs or something like that. But it's Josh Reynolds, wide receiver, Detroit, 1 year, $1.75 million, 46.15% rostered. This was his first game playing with the Lions after being claimed off waivers. He led the team in snaps at the receiver position with 43 out of 46 possible, I believe it was. He didn't catch any targets, but he was the only one Tim Boyle targeted deep, and it is very, very clear the Lions trust this kid already. I could see him coming back there next year with the amount he was used in his first game. The wide receiver room in Detroit is ugly. Amon-Ra St. Brown is not producing like we thought he would, even out of the slot. They talked about getting him outside a little bit, but now that Josh Reynolds there, it looks like it's going to be Reynolds outside, and Amon-Ra is going to stay in the slot with probably Khalif Raymond on opposite of Josh Reynolds. After that, we have Cedric Wilson, wide receiver, Dallas, 1 year, $2.1 million, 34.91% rostered. Cedric Wilson's only going to be a week or two play for you guys. Amari Cooper is currently on the COVID list. He is not vaccinated, so he has to take the 10 days. The 10 days happen to fall within 2 games because of the Thursday Thanksgiving game that Dallas always plays, and that gives you at least 1 week of Cedric Wilson in this lineup. It's definitely possible that he sees 2 games, but you're for sure getting a 1-game rental with him. And, with as explosive as the Cowboys offense can be, it's not a bad pickup. I definitely recommend it if you need help with receiver this week, even on your bench. He's not expensive. You can drop him after, and it won't cost you a ton. But I'm going with Cedric Wilson. He's probably my favorite 1-week pickup. My favorite pickup this week, even though he's for 1 week. My favorite long-term is probably Josh Reynolds, a little over DeAndre Carter. And then we got the next 2. Let's go ahead and hit one here. We got, why is it not pulling up? There we go. Rex Burkhead, running back, Houston, 1 year, $1.5 million. He is 10% rostered. I know this is ugly, guys. I had to put a running back on here. I hate giving you guys 5 wide receivers or something like that to choose from. So I try to diversify a little bit. So that's why Rex Burkhead's in here. The Texans led the entire game against the Titans. They gave Rex Burkhead 18 carries and only turned into 40 yards, but they just cut veteran Phillip Lindsay. So that opens up more room for Rex Burkhead. It's now just him and David Johnson really seeing carries. So expect him to get more work as the season goes, and he might even be somebody that sneaks in and wins you a week here or there coming up. Last but not least, guys, we have Nick Westbrook behind wide receiver, Tennessee Titans, 1 year, $610,000. He's 34.91% roster, just like Cedric Wilson. This kid has not done anything for the past 6 weeks. He did have a good game in like week 4 or 5. I can't remember which one it is. I'm not doing the math correctly in my head right now. But he blew up this week. He had 7 catches, over 100 yards, a touchdown. Last week it was Marcus Johnson. It just seems like it's somebody different every week for the Titans. But this kid's young. He's cheap. He's definitely worth a look. Over the past few weeks, like I said, we've seen Adrian Peterson, Donta Foreman, Marcus Johnson, Dontrell Hilliard, and I know I'm missing somebody. And Jeremy McNichols all have big weeks for the Titans and never consecutively. So it's it's definitely a tough pickup. But if you need somebody and you don't have much cap space, there it is. He'll fit in anywhere, and just kind of hope he gets the production he did. Every time he's seen over 4 targets, he has produced well. So we'll see if the Titans would catch on to that and give him some looks. I got somebody knocking on my office door, so I'm glad I wrapped that up there. I'm going to hop off of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys get these free agents. They ain't going to last long. If you can't tell, this list is ugly. It's going to be even more ugly next week. Stay safe out there, guys. We'll see you next week. Like the video, subscribe, share it, comment, all that good stuff.